So in this episode, this is what we untrashed so far. So I got these hideous aftermarket speakers, tweeters, crossover, pedal metal covers, aftermarket BMW alarm system, aftermarket rear seat restraints, Euro license plate holder. Just look at this garbage. Unbelievable. I actually went back to the junkyard and got this carpet out of that white 325i they had over there. But I needed the gray carpet, but I couldn't wait till one shows up with the gray carpet. So what I did, I went to AutoZone and bought 2Gs. So I'm just gonna paint it with that. The carpet was ripped out by Canyon Tuned, the person that I bought it from, which kind of surprised me, and he gave me the reason that the rats got in there and urinated all over it, so it had a smell to it. It's just another example, like these guys buy an E30 and immediately start tearing stuff up instead of fixing it. I don't understand it. I actually brought the carpet inside of my house, so I'm gonna paint it inside of my living room. Reason is because there's slight wind outside and I'm gonna lose a lot of product. This is how carpet came out. There's no point of painting the sections that's going to be covered by other parts. The coverage is not 100%, but it's better that way. I vacuumed it a few times just to get the loose pigmentation off. I pulled out the interior. I am almost ready to install the carpet. Sun is going down, but I'm going to try to get it in before total darkness. The next day, this is how carpet looks inside. These floor mats are from E30. They're gray color. As you can see, the spray did not do that well of a job, but it's gonna work for me. It's barely noticeable. Once I install the seats, stock seats, it's going to be barely noticeable. The Euro cluster is out, so I'm going to put in the US cluster. The metal covers for the pedals are out. Just return back the stock rubber ones. It looks much better. Car is having all sorts of electrical problems that I was trying to find what's going on. It was not getting power properly. It was showing 12 volts with the multimeter, but as soon as the system is loaded, it would quit. I was testing the wiring harness and everything, and I found the problem. The fusible link, stock fusible link, was totally smoked for some reason. I'm changing the shifter, putting the stock shifter back on there because this shifter was like way too aggressive. I couldn't even feel the gears going in what gear. It barely had any movement, and you can see here that the stock E36 rack and pinion was installed, and the steering shaft is misaligned completely. That's what happens when you put E36 steering rack on the airbag model. And this is the stock rack and pinion that I'm going to install together with the power steering pump. This is solid transmission mounts, all solid, all transferring vibrations from the engine to the chassis. This is a solid differential mount. Extremely dangerous for the chassis. If you drive for a long time, it's gonna start cracking. I'm gonna change this valve cover because that person welded some other fitting on it. Adjustable tower will have to go. Just look at this junk, man. This person made coilovers from a Honda kit, coilover kit, and he forced it fit on there. And it's horrible. I mean, it's totally unsafe to drive the vehicle like this. I mean, why would you do that to the E30? These rotors are from Mazda. It's supposed to be like a bigger rotor, but then you cannot fit the stock wheel on there because the caliper is bigger. We got the stainless steel brake line that is extremely stiff. Stock line is fine. Stabilizer link, stabilizer bar aftermarket, all dried up and junk and making noise. Look at the rear spring, man. It's a joke. Look at that. Can you believe people do that? And also rear stabilizer link and stabilizer bar, also junk, dry, squeaking. Solid engine mounts, transferring all the vibration to the chassis. Car feels like a farm tractor. It's ridiculous, man. Euro side blinkers installed on the fenders. I mean, why, man? What's the point of doing that? Ruining in good fenders are like $400 now. So I'm just gonna put the stock one back in that bumper right there. I'm gonna have to cut the hole for it. Now that I've proven the Mega Squirt 2 is working on it, I pulled it out. I'm probably gonna solder it or install it some other car. There's no point of having that on a naturally aspirated E30 M20 engine. I mean, there's no point. You're not gaining anything. This is the potentiometer for the throttle body from 5 Series. That's what the difference is. That's why you have to install it. And then there's 2 lines triggering 2 more coils for the waste spark plug. Finally order some quality parts, stock parts, aftermarket obviously. I'm gonna start installing them. Stock rubber engine mounts, boots for the rack, ball joints, quality ball joints for the suspension. I already installed the arms that I had previously spare. The joints are still good, it's just the boot is torn. I don't like the AC Delco spark plugs. What do you want to use is Bosch or NGK on the M20. I really wanted to install stock E30 springs, but I had a hard time finding them for any reasonable price. So might as well just install these H&Rs that are supposed to be like stock sport height. So we'll see how they fit. We'll see how tall it sits. So I'm taking a risk with this. Only $230 delivered. So here's the front suspension. So I got the new KYB insert impact absorber upper mount or bearing and the springs. So I did the subframe bushings. Actually I had a spare subframe with good bushings and I just installed it, and these trailing arms and everything. I did new boots on the CV shafts, brand new boots. You gotta love these E30s, man. There's less and less of them on the road, so saving any E30 right now is worth it. I even bought this special tool that pulls the half shafts through the rear bearings. That's the only way to do it properly. I used to hit it with a hammer right here, but this will damage the cut. So you have to have a tool to do the job properly. It's all back on there. All good, all looking good. This is how it looks with those springs. H&R OE Sport. I like it. It's not way too low, it's not too high. You would think I didn't do anything to this car to untrash it, but trust me, man, I did a lot of work to it. All the suspension, had to change all the suspension, had to put the power steering pump on it. They didn't have it. I had to weld all these holes that the guy drilled for the IX fender flares, and he was previously hit here and he was fixed, so the bondo came off. Also I plugged all with the welds, plugged all the holes where the spoiler went. More weld spots there. It's coming along slowly but surely.